can keep in touch like we did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. And I wish you well. Oh, sign your pen pals.
Happy New Year.
Happy birthday, everybody. Daniel, Vaniel, Caniel, and Rory, Maury, Scory joining
order.
you for what is the final Pen Pals episode in the year of 2021. And boy, has it been a big one. We, looking back, we got out of the Zooms. We were doing the Zooms, obviously, for a long time. Got out of the Zooms. We were recording face-to-face at Lissa's. We switched over from Starburns to Team Coco. We started having more guests on the show, something that we're going to continue to do. And we have a pretty awesome one starting next week, the very first episode of 2022. And we now have an official office studio space for this podcast, which is a big deal to us.
Very big deal.
If you're a listener, you're like, what do I care? I get it. I don't know. I probably wouldn't care either. But if you're making this show, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any resolutions?
That's a great
Do you do those?
question.
I feel like you do them all the time.
I don't
think
think
it's a rolling thing for you where you're taking assessment of what do I want to do
Throughout
what do I
the
wanna-
year.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I am. And I'm not good at them. I really wish I was better at them. Is a resolution to be better at resolutions? Is that a resolution?
Take it. That's your ball.
Is that
Run
too
with it.
meta?
No.
I want to be in better shape, and I want to be
just thinking
a
you're
person
looking
who
slim.
I get up early. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I don't know why it is. It isn't from any sort of health regimen.
That's not
I want
true.
to
I think
eat
you
better.
pretty well.
I want to eat better this year. I want to be more physically active this year.
Okay.
Going into next year, I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to be more prolific in terms of art that I want to do, create. So I do have a resolution, actually, because I have been thinking about this to the point where I've said this out loud to Jordan and another friend, Greg. I think in the fall of this year, I'm going to do an art gallery, and I'm going to try to have 20
Pieces?
10 to 20 pieces. And my friend Greg, the reason I told him is because he also is an artist who's put together a gallery on his own, which I didn't know you could just do. And so when I went to his, I was like, man, I just feel this thing inside me, this calling of making art.
You love to paint.
And I love to paint, and I love what it is. And I don't sit and do it with any sort of expectation or idea in my mind that I know what I'm doing or that I'm good at it. I just love where it takes me, and I love when I'm done with a painting. It's one of those things where I think what makes me feel good about it is I don't need anyone to tell me they think it's good. It's something I just know. And if someone said, no, truly everyone doesn't like this painting, it wouldn't change how I felt about it because, I'm doing like abstract stuff, which, to a lot of people is probably not interesting. As someone who's not really good at painting or drawing or doing those things, sitting and looking at an abstract concept that you're trying to create is very difficult. I think there's really bad abstract stuff, in my opinion, and I think there's really good abstract stuff, but I don't think abstract is something you can just easily create and do. It really takes choices and decisions, and there's a whole philosophy and a process for figuring out how to do it. Anyways, obviously, the way I just lit up talking about it, I love it so much, and I love doing it, and I'm back to painting again, trying to finish a painting for my brother that I sit and mull over, and I make a choice, I do a thing, and then I step back and I look at it for like a week to try to figure out what's the next thing I want to do to it, and it's just a zen place. I love it so much.
So you would like
my resolution
to
is
have
to
a showing at a gallery or your own gallery space. In the fall of
2022. So my resolution is to stay focused and try to complete that promise to myself that I will do it.
I think that's great. Rory.
I'm really excited about it.
I genuinely think that's great.
Yeah, thank you. What about you?
Man.
You're like, nothing, first letter.
I'd like to run 5 miles.
Yeah? What's the longest you've ever run? 3 for me, and that was the soccer days.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few 5Ks.
What is a 5K?
3.2.
Okay, never more than that?
No, my knees don't
also
hold
like,
up.
why would you?
You don't ever...
I guess training for the 5K, you maybe would be like, I'm going to run 4 miles.
I just would love to be able to... I should say full answer. I would love to run 5 miles without having knee issues. So I think I'd have to really work up to it.
Yeah.
That might be a thing.
But also, is the knee issues just knee issues and there's nothing you can do about it?
It's true. But
because you might not be able to get around that.
You can't. I know.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try and find out.
Sure.
Resolve to try.
Yeah.
I'd like to leave the country this year, so provided people get their shit together, that could be a safe thing to do.
For vacation or for shows?
I think part of the Together Again tour, I want to do a European run.
London.
Like 5 cities.
Yeah, London, Dublin.
I don't think Ireland.
Really?
I want to say that just for a trip.
Dublin is so
I know, but I want to do
great.
it just for... I know. I'm not saying I wouldn't do stand-up when I'm there, but I want that to be its own trip.
Vodafone, who knows what it'll be called if it it is able to come back. But the Vodafone Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I've done in Dublin a few times now, and it is that's the great way of like getting in to be like, I played Dublin. It's like, you want to do it there. Yeah. It's like such a fun way to do it.
Yeah, I think it was like... Andrew Youngblood and I had talked about it. It was like Paris, London, Munich, Amsterdam, Bruges, maybe.
Amsterdam, yeah.
So, travel
God,
overseas.
All that gets me so excited.
And run more, I think is something I'd really like to do.
We never did our
You know what? I'll resolve this. I want to shoot more of my own content.
Yeah.
And put it out. And by content, I mean like
sketches,
scripted stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I've got the ideas.
Yeah.
I just need to do the work.
Sketches, short film.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why the fuck not?
Hey, you want to go?
Well, I do, and I want to say thank you to all of our listeners who have supported us and come with us on this trip from the very beginning. Do you kind of feel
like even after 3.5 years, we're just getting started?
Can't believe it's 3.5 years, and I felt like that so much. I feel like we're just getting started.
Right.
I feel like now that we're in the studio space, we're kind of figuring out the show. We're booking some guests. We're figuring out, how to interact with guests. We're figuring out what guests and when to have them and what this show is. I think there's excitement.
If Smartlist can do 6 cities, I think we can.
I think we can do 6 cities, but we're going to do some live stuff. But I think I'm excited about 2022 because I think there's a lot of potential.
Me too.
For this podcast. And the reason we want to say that and bring that up to you guys is because obviously all of you listeners, if you're brand new and you've never listened to this show before, you being here right now for the first time is a big deal. And the people that have been here the whole time or however many times you listen to a show, it's the only reason there is still a show. 100%. So if you are like, well, I love this show and I really support this show, and we hear you and we see you, all of those people, never forget, it is always... it's what makes this show stay and become stronger and better is you telling 10 people this year that they should listen to this podcast.
That's our Pen Pals resolution.
Yeah, if you tell 10 people, it goes so much further than you actually think. It grows the show, which helps us be able to afford this studio and to keep making the show better. We're now doing video. You're looking at this now if you're watching it on YouTube. And so thank you. We appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. You guys mean a lot to us. Thank you so much. Pals. But now it's time to to the letters. Dear Daniel and Rory, I'm a Penny Night.
Oh, don't you dare.
Don't you dare speed read. Don't you dare micro machines.
Proper introduction that they wrote.
The Micro Machines commercials. At a certain point, you're like, just tell me what's up. Like the gimmick.
You think that guy's still alive?
He's not.
You know he's not?
Yeah, I know he's not.
Do you think he died at 72?
Is that? Oh. You know what I keep forgetting?
What?
We have so many new listeners who, if they haven't gone through the back catalog,
have
don't
no
know
idea.
any of that. They don't even know what we're talking about. Do you think he died at 72?
I mean, the odds would tell you no.
I bet he was. What do you think he died at? And then we're going to find out he's alive. He is alive.
Okay, he is
All
alive.
right.
Hold on.
Is he 72?
Is he 72?
Yes or no?
I even forgot our own rules. Do we guess
How old do you
his
think
age?
he was? When were Micro Machine commercials? You were 10?
I bet he was 33.
And we were 10. 10.
10.
So 30. So he'd be 63? I'm going to say he's not 72, but I'm going to say he's 67.
I'm going to say he's not 72 and he's 74.
One of you is exactly right.
Whoa, one of us is exactly right because I don't know if people can hear Alyssa.
Okay, round 2. Who's exactly right?
That's how we do it on Dumb People Town. Okay, who do you think is exactly right? What was your guess?
67.
And mine was 74?
I think I'm exactly
I'm
right.
exactly right.
All right.
First of all, welcome to the Type A house. Alyssa?
The fast-talking guy
From Micro Machines.
from Micro Machines.
The fast talking guy from Micro Machines is
67.
Yes!
Oh!
This is how I needed this year to end. By just conquering Daniel.
Oh, I don't know about that. I get so Midwestern.
I needed this. This win mattered to me.
Oh, man.
All right, here we go. God damn
Hey.
it. We got to remember to do 72. We
Good
don't do
job.
that enough.
I know, because next time we play,
I didn't know the
How-
last time we had a saga.
is Melissa Leo 72. We're going to
Is
save
she?
that. We're going to save it.
Is Melissa Leo 72 saga? I'm
right,
a
here we go,
penny,
Saga.
not yet a powder. This podcast has meant so much to me during a very difficult year. It is
Wait,
brought,
what is it? How did it start out?
Dear Daniel and Rory.
Okay. Keep going.
I just start crying. Well, I won the 67 thing. I'm a penny, not yet a powder. This podcast has meant so much to me during a very difficult year. It has brought happiness to my family in moments of true hardship, and for that, I will be forever grateful to both of you. Enough preamble on the main event. Do I choose an insightful and philosophical topic for this letter? I do not. I want to talk about buffets. Well, you wrote a letter to the right podcast.
Well, yeah, you did. This might be a 3-parter.
This might be a 3-parter. My wife and I have 4 beautiful daughters. Jesus. During quarantine, we tried to do some extra fun activities with the kids, even though we were stuck in our home. We started trying to cook one authentic dish from every country in the world.
Wow.
I never do shit like that, and I wish
What do
I
you mean?
did.
You guys got pizza night, taco night?
I mean, what is it? I mean, what even is that?
That is stationary, by the way.
This is stationary. Thus far, we've done about 20 countries, and it has been super fun. 20 countries.
20.
I
Two
highly
tens.
encourage others to expand their palate via this method. It's a great idea. For Brazil, we found a Brazilian steakhouse with outdoor seating. We went to dinner as a family for the first time since March of 2020. It was a massive hit with the kids. The gauchos came around with skewers of roasted meats that the kids delightedly sampled, though they were more excited about the grilled pineapple than anything else. There was also a buffet-style salad bar. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I told the kids they could help themselves to the salad bar, and it turned out to be their favorite part of the entire experience. More so than the food itself, they loved being in charge of their own meal. I quickly realized that we didn't have to be at a fancy restaurant for the kids to have this much fun.
Ponderosa.
They would have experienced the same joy if we had been at a Golden Corral or an old country buffet. I admit that I guess I'm kind of a snob in this regard, as I would never choose to visit a buffet-style restaurant, assuming the food would be generic and poorly cooked. But am I depriving my children of a truly fun experience by not taking them to such establishments? I'm sure they would love piling horrible combinations like meatballs and jello onto the same plate. It's almost, I don't know if I get into it now.
Yeah,
Wait,
hold
this will
on. I'm
derail
with
us.
the amount of times I've wanted to grab the letter and start
Go, I'm
talking.
ready to start. I recall a hilarious moment from my childhood when my parents took us to a buffet restaurant called Pennies outside Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. My brother wanted to indulge in the soft serve ice cream, but instead of using the appropriately sized dessert bowls next to the soft serve machine, he grabbed a full-size dessert plate, dinner plate,
Great kid.
from the buffet and unloaded a true mountain of ice cream onto it. However, being only around 8 years old at the time, he failed to realize that the buffet plates right out of an industrial dishwasher were kept heated. Within seconds, our entire table was covered in a calamitous puddle of melted ice cream, and my parents had to sheepishly ask the waitstaff for help cleaning up the mess. We all still laugh about it to this day. What are your thoughts on buffets? Are they a fun experience or are they kind of gross? Do you have any fun buffet memories like the one I've shared? Sincerely, your pen pal, Tom. P.S. Our youngest daughter was diagnosed with autism early this year. She has some significant developmental delays, and she has a very hard time communicating with us verbally. However, here come the tears.
Okay.
She is incredibly happy, and she loves to sing the Pen Pals theme with me. She finishes the song with a big smile on her face. It's a great moment of connection. Her name, coincidentally, is Penny.
Whoa, baby.
And now, the best part of this letter.
I mean, we've already had 3.
That's what it looks like. Dear Dan and Rory,
They get it.
on the night that I go back in time at 1:30 a.m., you will be shot by terrorists. Please take whatever precautions are necessary to prevent this terrible disaster. Your friend, Tom. Is that not exquisite? Little Back to the Future
How happy
coming
did
at
that
you.
make you?
As soon as I saw that, I was like, this letter.
You're in.
This guy gets it. I mean, what?
And on a letter like that with the cursive writing.
What's more
on
touching
stationery like that?
than knowing that little girl sings that theme song and it makes her so happy with her dad, smile on her face, and her name is Penny. Just coincidentally, her name is Penny.
Wow. Or the past harmonizes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's a paler. She doesn't listen to every episode. The past does harmonize.
That's beautiful. The end of that letter is absolutely
It's
beautiful.
absolutely one of the most
I am
beautiful
so
things
excited
we've
to
read. It
talk
definitely
about
falls in that category.
everything else in that letter. I might take my shoes off. I'm so revved up to
Here's
talk
where I
about.
got real revved up. Can I jump in?
Yeah, of course. You read it.
Don't you think what someone does at a buffet, you give them a plate, and you got
Tells you everything you need to know about them.
But I think there's an age to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I want to say, and this is where I want to know the opinion: is that age 12? Is the age 12
the best
where you go
year for a buffet?
Here is to do a personality test of here's a dinner plate. You're still 12,
Yeah.
but you know a little bit. You kind of know what
You know some things you don't like.
You know what you don't like, but you know what you want to get. But what that's going to look like when that comes back to the table, I'm not going to lie. I think that would be maybe an incredibly, and please, if anyone wants to, go ahead and steal this idea. I think that would be an incredible coffee table book. Is on the left side, headshot, Mandy style, of the person at like super
You're talking
serious.
about the Nick Cage movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the right, a beautiful picture of the plate that they've concocted at,
Right.
one of those places where I grew up. It was
Yeah.
Ryan's and Quincy's.
Yeah.
I don't know what you.
Ponderosa Old Country Buffet.
Yeah,
That's your,
yeah.
That's your 1 and 2.
Yeah. And then Golden
Or
Corral's
2 and 1.
everywhere.
Now,
I think that
I've never been to a Golden
interesting.
Corral.
That could be a good coffee table book.
Never been to a Golden Corral. So many Ponderosas.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's a little gross. I think they're. If I got to jump right in, I think they're Golden Corral. You couldn't.
They have a
pay
carving
me,
station
You'd have
at
to
a Golden
pay me
Corral?
so much to get me at a Golden Corral right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What
I don't.
about
I think it's
like
gross.
Bacchanal at Caesars in Vegas?
So now I think we're talking a different game.
Of course we are.
I think we're talking a different quality.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is still a little. You do feel a little strange, but it does taste good, and there's something there that you are
That's
like,
quality,
fuck, crab legs.
I don't know about Golden Corral, but Old Country Buffet, they have a carving station. That's always some great turkey and ham and roast beef.
Yeah.
How much joy would it give you to take Elliot to a buffet right now, hand her a little plate, and go, hit it?
Yeah.
Dude, what do you think she's throwing
Well, here's the
on
thing.
there?
That's what I'm curious about.
I take my nephews to the China buffet in Rochelle every time I'm home.
Yeah.
They look forward to it almost as much as I do.
You don't know something? It's interesting you say that. The China buffet, Chinese buffet, whatever you want to say, to me seems like.
Well, it's called China buffet.
Well, I know that's why.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, in general, Chinese buffet
Yes.
seems zero gross because
Really?
I know that I love everything in there, but for some reason, Golden Corral,
You're
an
just thinking-
American version
right.
of a buffet seems so gross.
You're thinking
but a
of-
Chinese buffet right now,
Yeah.
my mouth is watering thinking
Really?
about it. Yeah.
Because you're thinking of like croutons dropped into marinara sauce when you think of like a Golden Corral.
I
Like
think so.
Things like cross pollination.
I think I'm thinking cross pollination. I'm thinking just I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
So when I was a kid, we'd go to Ponderosa, right? Well, the very first buffet I went to was actually a cafeteria style. It's called Bishop's. That was at the Colonial Village Mall. Loved it. You got to pick what you wanted as you walked through. That was more, like I said, cafeteria. But then Ponderosa, you'd pick your number of like your steak, vegetable combo, maybe a grilled chicken. I don't think the meat was that good quality. And
Right.
then you would go to the buffet, and man, the day I realized, probably around 12, maybe 10,
Yeah.
that I could get the noodles from like the pasta section,
Yeah.
but walk over to I don't know why it was even there, but it wasn't near the noodles. Walk over to the melted cheese section.
And didn't you think you were the only person
And it
who's
was
ever thought
shells.
of that?
It was shells. And I'm talking globs.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah. Heart attacks.
and I would mound it up and just destroy those shells. Destroy. And you're right, especially as a kid, there's a freedom to it.
Yeah.
That you're like,
You're in charge. I think
You're
that's what I
in
love about this,
charge.
what he's saying here.
the amount of cubed red jello that I
just
would
grabbed
eat
it.
right next to
Yeah.
the cheese.
Yeah.
Right next to the cheese.
You know, I also think a buffet.
I took Rosemary to a Ponderosa like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, I think the thing about a buffet and a kid is that giving them that plate at whatever age you're going to do it, let them load it up.
Yeah.
Let them come back to the table and let them learn from experience portions. Let them learn. I know that you looked at a lot of things that were very exciting. I still do this at 41. I would do it right now at a Chinese buffet.
I still do it at Crafty.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get back and I go, why did I think I could eat all this? I was like, because I'm still a moron. Yeah. But a kid, I think it's really important. It wasn't until I went to Camp Greenville that at your table, all of the food that didn't get eaten went into a weigh thing on your table, or they took it, they weighed it.
Yeah.
And the table with the least food waste won for that meal, and you got to win something.
Okay.
So they even said, they go, take a little, come back and eat, and then go get more.
Yeah.
And it really was interesting that the 3 days that we were at that camp, it really takes time to learn
Portion
that.
control.
And I think a buffet kind of teaches that to a kid.
Or
where
it
you
goes
go,
the other way, because we used to go to Old Country Buffet after church,
and you overdo it.
I would eat till I was sick.
Of course.
And you know what? I thought,
But that's
I thought
also a
it made
lesson.
me. I thought in my, and I love them. I say this with love. In my fucked up family, it somehow meant I was a big good boy.
Exactly.
That I ate till I was sick. That I would just filled out my husky clothes so well.
I know all the
Dude.
I didn't have that specifically, but I know that like
I'd
sort of
go back,
celebration of the wrong
Get
thing.
more spaghetti. Get more mashed potatoes with that thick brown gravy. A couple pieces of turkey. Never even looked at a salad.
Let's get to the meat of it here. That
Pun
dessert
intended.
bar.
Dude.
The dessert bar.
First of all, if you can fuck with a French silk pie. That's for the YouTube. That's for YouTube right there. You felt it? You felt it when I said it? I mean, obviously the soft, full disclosure, I did
Soft
a
serve machine
at
when
a
that
festival-
started.
at a festival. Avery Pearson and I guested with Ian Carmel on a non-recorded all fantasy everything when we drafted buffets.
Yeah.
And if you think anybody came close to fucking beating me at drafting a buffet, I think I got carving station in the 4th round. They couldn't even hang. They couldn't even hang.
Dude,
What has gotten to you?
I don't know. Just I think I love the confidence of, if you think anybody was coming at me.
No.
Now, the Ryans or the Quincy's, those were the two.
Remember Ryan? They called it a Ryan Steakhouse. but
Yeah,
we
Ryan
had that-
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
And you could like get steak and put in that order
Same
as
as
you
a-
went
it's
down
like
the
a
line.
Ponderosa.
Usually people
Yeah.
went, you skipped that part, grabbed your tray, paid, and you
Right.
went and you got the
Right.
all you can eat. But that soft serve machine, that wasn't always a part of the deal. That wasn't always there.
No.
And I remember being a kid, and we were like, "Whoa, what's that over there?" And now, obviously there's big
And it was glowing.
banners kind of pointing it out. Like,
you're
here's
a
the
kid.
soft serve
It is
machine.
glowing.
You've never, as a kid, you've never been in a position where you're like, you were already like, oh, I'm in charge of the food. But when you saw the soft serve machine, especially someone who adores and worships ice cream,
Yeah.
I was like,
Vanilla.
I'm in
specifically.
charge. I'm in charge of the ice cream. And they're like, you're not just in charge of the ice cream. Look at all these
the
fucking
toppings.
toppings.
Oh, my God.
And you're just like, what the fuck? Even that was a lesson in, hey, all of them at the same time, for me, they don't work.
But you had to learn it.
There's an
You
art
would put them on there and
to
be like,
it.
I don't like this.
Yeah, why did I put jelly beans in here? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yes.
But I remember not a specific moment, but I remember that feeling of seeing that machine for the first time. We did the plate. We tried to do the fucking plate. It was a mess. We
Oh,
never did
yeah.
it at that level where it was
I
like
see.
a
I would
mountain.
go over to the salad bar and I'd grab a bowl from
An
there.
actual bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would get the bowl. I would do 2 or 3 trips. I'd sneak a trip up there. I just remember the experience. If there's anything that I take from this, and I think this is what I really love about this letter, is that I remember being a kid and going with my family to these types of restaurants and really, I think I love the fact that we didn't order. I think I love the fact that as soon as you sit down, you can
Game
get
on.
right back up.
And you know what? You
and
always
go
do
right
it.
over
And I know
there
only
and
people
start
watching
putting
are
it
going to
together.
get this, but it's always this. Thank you. Thanks. Shall we, guys?
It's true. It's true. And you sit there for a second, like, why don't we
Why
start
even sit
over
down?
there and then find a table?
Well, yeah, unless you
But
got to
they
put
go
your
seat
coat.
you.
You got to put your coat down.
Put your coat down.
They ask you, what do you want to drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The high C. I'd get the high C.
I know we've talked about this before, but guess what? I don't give a shit. The Pizza Hut buffet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do it?
yeah.
You did it?
Yeah.
Do you remember getting the like?
Also, Pizza Inn. Did you have Pizza
No,
Inn?
never heard of it. You could stay there?
Pizza Inn.
It was like a motel?
No. That didn't even occur to me. It never even occurred to me the word inn because I just knew what it was.
yeah.
But that was the like place that had a pizza buffet. That was the function of that place, was that is a pizza buffet.
Yeah, like CC's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this was pre-CC's.
Gotcha.
But then
Right.
like Pizza Hut, some of them had the buffet. Not all of them had the buffet.
Do you remember
but-
like the raspberry dessert pizza?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
Always too hot.
Scalding.
And then
Burn the top
do
of
you-
your mouth.
And then do you remember being a kid? Like you were like you owned a house and you go, you guys putting out any more sausage? Like they'd be like, fuck you, kid.
Hey, what are you? You're like 9.
9, and I know what I want.
I'm 9, and I want to know about these fucking sausages.
My dad wants to know. And then they'd be like, you don't have a dad. I'd be like, my friend's dad
Yeah,
wants
but my
to know.
friend's dad, and he lets me call him dad. That's when they go, God, get this kid some
this
sausage.
Come on, Rick, get it out there for him.
Bad for this kid. I feel bad for this kid who talks to us exactly the way our boss talks to us. You guys doing any more pineapple?
I loved it, and I'll tell you, man. A Vegas buffet, and I know they've changed. I know they changed.
What's
I
your
haven't
favorite
experienced it.
Vegas buffet? You've
It's
spent enough
Bacchanal,
time
dude.
there.
It's Bacchanal.
Hey, where is Bacchanal?
Caesars.
Okay.
Caesars
I
and
knew that.
Bacchanal it's great.
They're known for it.
Yes, and I mean they have
Come
like,
on down.
They have everything there.
Yeah, yeah.
The dessert is its the dessert is its own buffet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in the round.
Yeah.
and they have everything from like all over the world type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean there's people who just go nuts on like the crab legs and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
really a crab leg guy.
I
It's
know.
like I don't want that much work.
Even
for
at
my
this
food.
age, I go straight to the fucking dessert station.
What you can't do
You
at a buffet is you can't go rolls. Don't even mess
Oh,
with
yeah,
bread.
you're
what are you
screwing
doing to
yourself. You're
I know.
screwing your
They
whole
got
thing.
Bread buffets at every other
Get
restaurant.
out of here.
Yes.
You don't need the bread.
No.
Tom, I gotta say, this letter could not be more up our alley
I know.
as two cackling idiots who fucking love talking about
I loved
food.
it. And I say we call it for this.
What?
It's in between the holidays. We did one really fun letter. Everybody's eating a lot anyway.
I feel good.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel real good. Folks,
I guarantee we will talk more about this if you want us to. Just
Yeah.
send us your buffet dreams and your buffet memories. We'll talk about it on the Patreon.
dude, we'll start doing some extended cuts on the Patreon.
I don't, not even by choice. It's just
Yeah.
the way we
You
live our
send us
lives.
Food. Honestly, I don't know why this podcast isn't even just about food. I don't know why
Some people
2022
would say it
isn't
is.
just food.
Some people would say
Maybe we'll do
that
a
it
food
is.
month and we'll just do all food on one of the months. Tom, this is an incredible letter, and it's so heartwarming to hear that story about you and your daughter, and also heartwarming to hear the story about all of your daughters and going to a buffet. So thank you for that. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel.
And Daniel Van Kirk. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I wish you